Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to our webinar on how a user-centric design approach can basically enhance your healthcare platform and help you basically achieve your goals. So I'm very happy to have you all here today, and I'm confident that by the end of this session, you will be you will gain some valuable insights about user-centric design approach as well as like how we implement those things in our digital platforms. So before diving into the main topic, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ravin, and I am currently working at Unthinkable Solutions as product design manager. I actually come with an overall experience of more than 9 years, and I have worked with multiple domains so far, like health tech, fintech, and then ed tech, etc. So if I talk specifically about healthcare and working in this particular domain, I mean, I have always been very passionate about, creating some solutions that fulfills the need, not just the, needs and specific things of my users. It was like, or, more about like giving them the right data at right times to basically, get what they actually are looking for. So we'll talk about this thing in detail further. And as we all know that healthcare industry rapidly evolving, and with the advent of new technology and increasing patient demands, it is imperative that we should uh, adopt a user-centric design approach to stay relevant as well as competitive in this today's world. So in today's webinar, we will discuss the importance of user-centric design approach and how it can enhance your healthcare platform. And by the again, like I would like to highlight again, by the end of the webinar, you will have a better understanding of the significance of user-centric design approach and its potential impact on your digital platform, whatever you guys are related to. So once again, thank you all, and let's quickly get into our main topic. Let me just quickly share my screen and walk you through the presentation that I have. By the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, I hope that I'm sound and clear. Like, am I audible to you all guys? Okay,
Yeah, we can hear you.
awesome, awesome. Thanks. Let me just pull up my screen. Hope you all are able to see my screen. Hello.
Yeah, Ravin, it's visible.
Awesome. Okay. So, just a moment. Yeah. So let's start with our topic, how user-centric approach can enhance your healthcare platform. So let's, before moving into this entire, topic, let's talk about user-centric design. So what is it? So I would say user-centric design is something that prioritize the end user's experience throughout the journey of a design process, right from initial, search phase to the final implementation. So ensuring that end result is both functional as well as usable, as well as I would say enjoyable by the user. So that's all about like user-centric design. And yeah, I mean, today's agenda looks like we will be talking about a few challenges in the healthcare, then a few key principles about user-centric design, not just in healthcare but in other domains also. But yeah, it would be based on these like the basic principle that we should have in our mind while creating any digital platform. Then we will move ahead and talk about the persona, different sort of stakeholders that are involved in healthcare, and then methods of for like different type of research methodology that we generally follow to drive our decisions and everything. Then a few key metrics about measuring your digital platform. How can you basically make sure and check whether your product meet up the standards or not. Then a few projects by our company, that's like Unthinkable, and later on, like we'll also talk about a future, few future trends, like how can we basically add some sort of value to different trends that are going on in the market. So yeah, moving on to the next slide. This is like why we emphasize like why we emphasize user-centric design in healthcare. I mean, there could be many answers for that, but yeah, I mean, these are the five things. So by adopting a user-centric design approach, we can significantly improve various aspects of healthcare platform. We all know that, ultimately leading to a better retention outcome and more efficient medical procedures. So these are the five areas wherein like we can basically what we can achieve basically through user-centric design. So it's like one of, so sorry, my bad. Yeah. So first is the enhanced engagement. It always, the user-centric design methodology always focuses on, creating an intuitive and easy to use platform, making it more, engaging for the end users, be it patient or healthcare providers, like doctors or any admin guy from your hospital or whatever it is. So this increased engagement results in a, higher satisfaction score, I would say, and, the trust in your platform as well as in your business. And ultimately that can, lead to a better, user retentions. So this is, I mean, this could be the one thing. Another thing is improved, treatment adherence. Obviously, we can develop features and functionalities to help, patients, better understand their treatment plans and follow them more efficiently. This basically leads to improvised, treatment adherence. This basically will ultimately, again, result in a better health outcomes for them as well. Then the improved accessibility. Again, this is a very important aspects of a user experience. I would say, the regime that we have here. And it basically ensures that healthcare platforms are accessible to a diverse range of users, including those who comes with, let's say different abilities or maybe limited technical knowledge, etc. So this makes it easy for all the users to access whatever information is being, shown up in a very efficient manner. Then we have streamlined workflows for medical professionals. Obviously, if we can, by understanding the needs of different personas that we have, like doctors and, admin guys and maybe, people from diagnostic centers and etc. By, understanding their needs and expectation, we can, help create platforms that can streamline their daily jobs and their workflows in their daily life, basically reducing the hassle of of multiple tasks that are going on and improve overall efficiency. And last but not least, encouragement to adopt new technologies. Again, we are living in an era of technological revolution, and things are basically changing every single day. And what, if something is very easy to use and easy to understand, people are more likely to embrace and get a hang of new technologies easily, right? It's all about making things user friendly and approachable. When when technology is actually user friendly, it opens up whole world of possibilities for the folks to hop on to the board and adapt to these new so-called cool advancements. So I mean, these are the few things that we can definitely achieve through user-centric design. And here I would like to talk about an example here. So My Sugar, there is this company which is a health application designed to help people with diabetes and managing their conditions more effectively. So what the guys have done is, like, they have used multiple things like personalization, gamification, and then intuitive interfaces, integrations with multiple devices, and that's how they have created a very you know uh, kind of 360 sort of wholesome for a user to basically like. So it's like a very good example how any application should be built in healthcare domain actually. So yeah, with this, I think let's move on to the next slide and learn about a few, complex scenarios where, I mean, we know that though we have, we face a lot of challenges and stuff in healthcare while specifically designing and planning any digital platform for healthcare. But yeah, we will majorly talk about three of them. So first would be to address the complex workflows, sorry. So one of the most significant challenges in addressing complex workflow is the understanding multiple users as well as like putting yourself into their shoes, right? It's like understanding their daily routine, like how it is going and how it works like. So it requires a deep understanding of complex processes involved in patient care and respective whatever practice that they are involved into. And this basically involves, uh, it's like the understanding involves the deep drill down of their uh, daily life, as well as like breaking down those complex tasks into maybe smaller segments and smaller things and manageable steps to present them in a more logical and user friendly manner. So a few examples of course are listed here: hospital workflow and resource management. So it's like their daily responsibility, as we already have talked. Then another example could be EHRs, electronic health record management. This involves like all the collection and storage of patients data, their medical records and demographic, medical history, etc. And then third could be like medication management flow, such as authorization and then user authentication, prescription validation, etc. So all these three things, I mean, of course, apart from that, we may have more, but yeah, we have only listed three of them, and these actually requires a close consideration when it comes to basically work on any digital platform that are relevant to these particular fields. So let's talk about real use case scenario. So Teladoc Health, it's a US based uh, firm that, I mean, it basically provides telehealth, medical opinions, telehealth devices, and licensable platform services to their users. And their main services is actually mains on offer a convenient and cost effective alternatives to traditional in-person consultations. So it's like especially for those who are with limited access to healthcare providers, or maybe who prefers to remote consultations and counselings. So with approximately 54 million users, uh, I mean, they have like a very large user base, and it basically, with this increasing number of users, it adds more complexity as it becomes necessary to accommodate various type of user at their end. So these are a few of the functionalities that they have like implemented, and that's how they have achieved their goals, like very efficient doctors workflow, I would say, not providers. So yeah, it's they have a centralized system for accessing patient info and documentation of the consultations, and then they have data driven decision making, simplified actions, patient access, basically convenient medical care via it's like a more convenient way of accessing uh, things at their ease, like using any mobile or maybe a website or phone. So overall, they have kept like it very simple and very easy to understand for all the sort of users that they are catering to. And that's how, like, I mean, and these were a few of the things that they have additionally done. And I mean, it's a very good example. Moving ahead with the next challenge that we have here is handling sensitive data. And I mean, I'm sorry, just a moment. Am I going too fast or too slow? Anything, like any opinion? Hello, guys, I hope I'm audible. All right, I'll take it as a positive thing that yeah, I'm on a normal pace. So yeah, handling sensitive data, again, the second sort of challenge that we have here. So healthcare platforms deal with a vast amount of highly confidential and personal information, such as patient medical records, like we already talked about, treatment plans, maybe billing information there, and whatnot. Actually, there are a lot of things that are very confidential to multiple users. So ensuring the privacy and security and proper management of this sensitive data is utmost priority and importance for any designers. And let's basically move ahead and talk about these four things that we have mentioned here. Like we have patient portals, like wherein we have a lot of data about their medical histories and everything. Then we have the insurance portal. I mean, we have all the plans that we have bought and everything that are related to any concerned guy. Then communication system, and all of these actually interacts with numerous sort of sensitive data, as well as we have numerous roles involved in these category required. I mean, all of these things are required with a careful handling of sensitive data, I would say. So let's talk about another example here. So this is an example from India itself. So there is this application called as Arogya Setu, and it is a mobile application developed by Indian government to help basically all the citizens identify their risk of contracting COVID-19. So it also aims to provide information about the coronavirus, as well as a few things about self-assessment of health, and it's kind of alert you whenever you have been in a close proximity to someone who is infected or who has been tested recently. So in order to do that, what they do is like they use Bluetooth and GPS technologies to track the location and movements of the user. And it also involves a sort of, chatbot for answering quick questions and, these kind of things. So in order to, why I'm actually elaborating these things is because it requires a good amount of, confidence when it comes to adopting this kind of application, accepting this kind of application, and that too on a, a large scale. Like as you can see, we have like almost 219 18 million people who use this particular application, right? And the way they have achieved it is through data anonymization. What is it? It's like they have like given some anonymized device IDs to all the users, and ensuring that personal identification data is not really revealed. I'm sorry, I got a message for that. Yeah. Okay. So it's like ensuring that all the data that is, there in their server should not reveal during any data transmission or, or storage at the time of storage, basically. And then we have privacy policy and transparency. Yeah. So basically they have like listed all the terms and conditions of users of that particular application in a very efficient way that people have found it very convincing, as well as they also have used data encryption. Well, all the data that transmitted between users device and server was actually encrypted using industry standard algorithms. And then the third point, yeah, limited data retention was also again one of the most important thing that they did is like they only retained users data for only 45 days, not more than that, and they have deleted it, the unnecessary data periodically. So that's how they have gained, and like a, I mean, they basically got a competitive edge, and they have gained confidence from these many users at times. So it's a classic example of like how they have handled this particular challenge. Moving ahead with the third challenge that we have is the compliance with the regulatory. So another significant challenge in healthcare industry again is to ensure compliance with various regulations and industries and their standards, basically. So healthcare program must adhere to a complex set of rules and guidelines that are set by organizations like HIPAA, GDPR, HL7, etc. And a few example like where we have these kind of challenges is the medical device regulation. So we have a lot of medical devices in the we all know that, and there are some ways to interact with them, maybe some UI or some mechanic inputs or some input mechanism. So there are many factors like service risk classifications, and then implementing different human factor engineering, and then adhering to design controls, maintaining documentation, etc. It actually becomes very complex when it comes to design their interactions, I mean human and machines interactions, basically, when it comes to design these kind of complex situations, I mean sorry, the complex interactions. So by complying with these regulatories and requirements, how I mean a user experience designer can add up here is basically they can contribute creating medical devices that are user friendly, safe, and I would say what do we call it, effective to their intended users, right? So moving ahead, complying with various, again, I talked about HIPAA, GDPR, HL7. These are a few of the organizations that set some guidelines and some standards to be followed when, especially when it comes to develop a digital platform for healthcare, users. And then most important, again, accessibility. Uh, we already have talked about like this thing in my last to last screen, I guess. So it's like it should be very inclusive and usable by individual with various abilities and disabilities, right? So this is essential in healthcare as it ensures all users, regardless of their physical, I would say cognitive or motor or sensory limitations, whatever it is there. And there is a organization named as WCAG, which helps all the designers and other stakeholders involved in the digital platform, development to help them, to make their product accessible to a larger mass. So these things like included as a, like color contrast ratios that you have in your particular product, then a few things about font size, keyboard navigation, how we are interacting with particular device, all text for all images, etc. So these are like a quick example of the accessibility and everything. So again, let's talk about one more example here, Healthline. Again, it is a health information website which basically stays in compliance uh, with regulations by adhering to multiple guidelines, laws, and industry standards set by different people. And they also have some features like secure messaging for HIPAA compliance, and then privacy control for users to make them feel that they are they are in control all the times, and role based access controls for like for their own confidence building sort of thing. So yeah, these were the three areas of challenges that we usually have. I know there are a lot, but yeah, these are the three main things that we should look into while designing any digital platform. So any questions or anything so far? Like if you guys have anything to discuss or anything to ask till here, then we can move on. No, I mean there must be two things. Either I'm explaining these things too well, or I don't know. Like, anyways, okay, I'll again take it as a no, and we can like move ahead with our next topic, that is related to essential principle for user-centered design. So yes, accessibility, we have talked about it multiple times during this entire presentation, and I would definitely say that this is the most important part that we should cater to, because healthcare people have many sort of limitation. We talked about motor skills, cognitive skills, and all those things. And we should make sure that whatever products that we are shipping should meet their needs, as well as they should be easily they should be easily accessed, like whatever information or controls that you have in your digital platform. Then another important part is the empathy. It actually prioritize the emotional bonding and needs between different stakeholders involved in this particular interactions, like patient, doctor, then stakeholders. We should have that sort of empathy to be built between different people within the ecosystem that we have. And then usability, again, the platforms or digital platforms should be very easy to use, and this particular principle make sure that yeah, they are like they have very simple navigation, consistent design, and then understandable language, etc. And last but not the least, consistency. I mean, they should, I mean, the all the interaction patterns as well as UI patterns that's being used across different places in a digital platform should be very familiar and easy to use. There should be very minimal uh, learning curve associated to it. So these are the four principles. Obviously, apart from these principles, there are more flexibility, learnability, and then efficiency. But I would like to emphasize more onto these four principles, because these are the most important things which can give you a competitive edge, especially in healthcare domain. So let's talk about a bit about our different stakeholders and personas that we have in healthcare. So healthcare platforms basically serve a wide range of users, including healthcare providers like doctors, nurses, patients, and then the administrative staff. Each of them actually comes with their unique needs, their unique expectations, and their unique way of interact. I mean, they might have their own way of interacting things with interacting, digital things basically. So designing a user interface that caters to these diverse group of people is essential for creating a successful and efficient healthcare platform. So let's quickly discuss about these persona a bit in detail. So intuitive, and I would say for healthcare providers, it's very important to have an intuitive and efficient workflows. I mean, so that we can basically streamline their daily tasks, such as managing patients' record, or maybe uh, tracking treatment progresses, and or maybe like coordinating with patient itself. So these are a few quick examples about like their daily work and their daily jobs, what they are doing on daily basis. And for example, if I talk about like a well-designed EHR, we talked about electronic health records, right? So a well-designed EHR system can help doctor quickly access, some secondary info and secondary, data at times, allowing them to focus more on, patient care. So that's how we can basically, enable them using, top-notch user-centered design, designed digital platforms, I would say. Moving ahead with the next persona is the patients. So again, UX play again a very crucial role here as well in improvising and improving the engagement, the understanding, and the adherence to basically treatment of their own disease and different plans they are going through. So by presenting information in an accessible and easy to understand format, patients can better comprehend to their health conditions, follow prescribed treatments on time, etc. And the third persona we have here is the admin. Similarly, it can again, like, we can make their life super easy by providing them some AI enabled products to basically manage, let's say, inventory or whatever it is. Like there are a lot of roles that are involved here. I'm not going into a lot of details here, but yeah, we have a vast opportunity for this particular persona base as well. So I mean, we talked about persona. Let's quickly talk about a few of the user research methods that can be uh, used to basically drive all your decisions. And but let's quickly talk about user research, why it is important. So it basically plays a very important role in creating a successful product, I would say. It acts like a, I would say, a fuel to your ideas or whatever things that you have in your mind, right? I mean, research always helps. So by employing various type of research methods, we can gather insights, like different sort of insights that inform our design decisions, and ensure that our healthcare platform is effectively addresses, I mean, it basically addresses the needs of our users and all the personas that we discussed in our last slide. So there could be four, I mean, there are four types of research, I mean, that we do generally when it comes to start working on any platform. One is exploratory, another one is descriptive, third one is generative, and then fourth one is evaluative. So I'll talk a bit about exploratory research. It actually, I mean, these methods are used to gather insights in and understanding the main needs and motivations and behavior of your users. They are particularly used in very early stage of project to help identify problems and opportunities, right? And if I talk about, I mean, a few examples are listed here: interviews, focus group, diary studies, and then contextual inquiries. These are pretty much straightforward. And then moving ahead with the second type of research that we generally do is descriptive. Again, it actually, these descriptive research methods are used to gather quantitative data about users behavior, what they feel, what they look into their preferences and their attitudes about certain things. And very few examples are surveys, questionnaires, card sorting, analytics, etc. And then we have the generative research method, wherein we basically generate our ideas, and it also involves users in design process. It's like co-creating, and exploring potential solution for the given problem. And a few examples could be participatory design, wherein you get involved with the end users directly, and talk all about your solutions and everything with them directly. Design workshops, again, the similar sort of thing that we have in participatory design, concept testing, and co-creation sessions. Last one is the evaluative research method. Usually it is done when you are ready with your digital product. It's like to test your hypothesis and all your, it's like testing and validating your design solution and ideas that you had. And a few classic example could be usability testing, expert reviews, A/B testing, and cognitive walkthroughs. So these are the four sort of, type of research that we generally do as a designer when we start, or maybe during the design process. And let's talk about a few quick impacts about that we get from user research, like, and why it is important. So first is, again, like, improved usability. Of course, if you have conducted a good user research in your, and what your user exactly want, then you have a solid data to understand what sort of user, what sort of expectation and needs that the user, that your user would have. And you would end up creating a product that basically serves their needs better and are easier to use, I would say. Then second could be enhanced user satisfaction. Simple and straightforward, no need any explanation here. Reduced development cost. This is something that is very contradictory, I would say. Let me put some light over here. So a lot of people argue about, like, how come you as a designer can reduce development cost and efforts. So I always answer it with a simple statement that a proper attention and investment in early stage, initial stage, I would say, would definitely help identify potential issues and gaps, and that too in a very early stage. So we can basically, so that we can make necessary adjustment and changes before even going to dev stage. As we all know that development part is something that takes a lot of time. And if you, it's like, you test all your thoughts and hypothesis before going to development phase, it is always a cost effective method of developing any product. And then moving ahead with the next benefit that we have is the better understanding of target users. Again, I mean, somewhat similar to the second point. And competitive advantage, of course, like, if you go ahead and launch your product that is well researched and well designed in market, and are competing with, let's say, some other companies who could not, who did not do those sort of, who did not went through that particular transformation, obviously you would have some competitive advantage or edge over them. So let's quickly discuss about, how can you evaluate the user centric designs. Like, if you have any digital product, how can you basically check whether those things are meeting the industry standard values that we have. So these are a few of the values. Some, we can simply say that, yeah, these are some standard value that can be accepted, that, yeah, if you are meeting these criteria, your product is well designed or maybe well thought. So task completion rate is a very simple, like, if you have a golden use case or maybe any use case that you have, you can test those things using your users. And if your task completion rate is above 90%, it is like always considered good. User retention rate 60% and above times, if user are actually coming back to your platform, considered as a good uh, thing for your particular product. And then we have error rate. So let's say if your user is trying to achieve something on your particular product, and they are making less than 5% of errors in your particular product, that means it's a good design product. 80% learnability, I would like to talk about it actually. How quickly your user can learn how to use your product efficiently is all about, like, learnability. And a successful user-centric design has a shorter learning curve, I would say. It basically follows the principle of that we call in design world is recognition is better than recall. So it it's basically easy, the ease of use as well as the learning curve of your particular product. And this should be um no, I'm sorry for this actually wrong annotation of, so it should not be like above 80%, I would say. And then we have the bounce rate that should be like less than 50% all the time. So how many people are like dropping off from your particular product? And efficiency gain, it's like comparing the time spent on the task before and after implementing the design solutions that you have. So this is all about like different key matrices that you can check and basically uh, get your products evaluated on. Moving ahead with a few case studies from the house of unthinkable. uh, so that is like Calido, Vivodoc, and Maya MD. I will quickly talk about them. So Calido is a, again, healthcare provider, of course. They wanted to provide a safer, cleaner, and more, I would say, well-rounded experience for all the occupants, like doctors and all the personas we talk about. So, they have like a few digital visitor management system, hygiene, and they came to us to, in order to design them. And a few additional things that we have implemented out there is a simplified entry of any, visitors that might be there on the gate, or you have the admin control and everything. So let's quickly see before and after, comparison of the screens. As you can see on the left side, they came to us with this particular screen, and their dashboard had a lot of data that needed a bit of close consideration of from the user. I mean, a bit of cognitive load from the user to analyze and take insights out of it. We have converted that thing to something like this. And this is another example from another people management module, wherein we have implemented a few additional tips and not tips, actually features, like advanced level filters, advanced level searching, and then sorting, etc. So what we exactly did for Calido and what we have achieved, I mean, a few things are mentioned here, like streamlined their hospital entry process, like I talked about earlier, efficient staff and patient management, access to detailed report that are actually created through a proper data driven decisions, basically. Just a moment. And incorporated a universally appealing color scheme, because prior to that they did not have that branding look and feel in in their particular product. So we basically used blue and yellow, and we have tried to give them a feel of more personalization sort of thing for their own brand. And if we talk about like what we achieved out there is I mean, this is again, these are not just the hypothetical figures that you see. We have even tested these things. Like we were able to reduce 20% of the bounce rate from their product, and then 62%. I mean, yeah, this got actually increased to 62%. Earlier, prior to that, this was somewhat around 40 or so. And then task completion rate again got increased to 85%, and error rate was actually reduced to 5%. So yeah, that was the impact that we have made to basically to Calido as a client. And then moving ahead with our next client, it's like I mean, their main problem statement was to solve the scenario of long wait times for the like that we have in the appointment booking, and limited access to especially some I would say specialist physicians in the hospital. So it has become somehow significant issue, especially in United States, and they came to us with this particular problem. So there was no product that these guys had at that point of time. We basically have designed it from the scratch. And these are a few of the modules that we have designed for them: doctors accessibility, insurance confirmation, etc. So moving ahead with the designs that we have designed for them, as you can see, like we had a dashboard wherein I had a 360 overview. I would say 36,000 feet overview about my day, how it looks like for the admin. And moving ahead with the next screen, which is from, I think, admin portal itself, and a few, appointment booking flow screenshots that we have here. Yeah, talking about the impact again, we were able to basically improvise their net promoter score to 75%. Again, retention rate got increased to 80%. Task completion rate was like 95%, and this was a very nice figure, I would say, that in this particular project we have successfully tried to achieve it. And then error rate was measured around 1% only. My MD, again, very huge client for us. Actually, they wanted to leverage AI capabilities, and they basically wanted to use AI insight at very extensive levels. So it's like, believed that patient failed to adhere treatment and medication on time, and then the regimes due to complex care plans that they go through, and then a lot of overcrowded thing was there in their particular dashboards and platforms that they had earlier. And so we basically tried to provide a lot of AI capable portals to them. Like, it's like they were enabled with all the machine learning and AI ML thing. We were able to provide their users some tailored or maybe customized plans for their different needs. It's like you answer a few set of questions, and we basically analyze all the things and create plans, and suggest hospital and doctors basis your input that we have got, and that too using some advanced level algorithms and everything. So let's directly go to a few of the screen. Yeah, again, I think I forgot to mention, we had like mobile as well as web based applications for this, but yeah, we only have shown mobile screenshots over here. As you can see, there were a lot of things like the affordance was not there in older designs that you see here, but in the new design we have kept some sort of affordance as well as a clear indication of CTAs and everything in place. And this is another example wherein they had this particular chart wherein, I mean, there were few problems related to accessibility. Things were not readable properly, and CTAs and everything was like so jumbled up. We have tried to give a very subtle look to it. Like, I mean, it is not usually advisable to use white widgets on black, because it basically puts a bit of extra strain on the eyes of the user. So that's why we just kept a monotonous kind of look and feel, wherein we have tried to emphasize on the data rather than the card itself. And we also have provided them with some additional functionalities like filtering down certain things here and there. And these are the quick figures about the satisfaction score, retention rate. Again, it's the same sort of thing that we have achieved through this particular redesign practice that we had with my MD. So yeah, moving ahead with the most important part, obviously, we always say that it's a collective job. Like, designing is not just a job. I mean, it's not just a job that should be done by the designer itself. And why do we say that? I would like to talk about it. Basically, creating a successful healthcare platform requires lot of collective efforts from multi-disciplinary team, like designers, developers, or be it any other stakeholders, even the user also. Because and why it is that? Because each one of us come with our own unique perspectives and can add from multiple dimensions. Like, we obviously, you as a user and I as a user take certain things differently. So that's how it works. So working together as a cohesive I would say unit ensures that the platform not only meet the users expectation, but it adheres to technical regulatories and industry standards. And yeah, I think that's what it is mentioned out there. Yeah, I think this, I mean, we are almost about to end. I'm sorry, but yeah. So this is the last section wherein I will be going to talk about like what's going on there in the market as of now. So, well, I mean, it's not just about today. We need to like keep working on the new tech advancement that we have and trends to ensure a top-notch experience uh, to our users from whatever domains that they belongs to. So the first thing, I mean, the first challenge or first blockers that we can see here is in the telehealth sector. So telehealth has seen a significant, I would say, growth in recent years post COVID times. But there are still some barriers which can be looked after either by designers or maybe developers to, sort those things. One of them could be technological barriers that we have. When I say technological barrier, it actually relies on like the technology, access to high speed internet or maybe advanced devices and etc. So by designing telehealth solutions that are easy to use and I would say compatible to more, I mean, it's like a wide range of devices and internet speed could be a solution for that. Another challenge again could be a limited, doctor and patient interactions. Like, when we do these uh, digital consultations, it always comes with some drawbacks also, like there is no personal touch and non-verbal communication that we have. So maybe designing platforms in a way that if it, facilitate effective communication and maybe simulate in-person interactions can help improve the quality of the consultations that we have as of now. I'm so sorry. And what else? I think limited access to certain population is again is a challenge, like elderly patients or maybe individual with disability or maybe people who are living in remote areas. They face some challenges while accessing to these kind of service. So again, like user-centric design can help address the needs of the end users and be it from any sort of demographic or any sort of age or the limitations that we have. So these are a quick maybe challenges in telehealth as of now, or maybe have some scope of improvement in coming future. If we talk about virtual reality, again, VR has a very good potential to revolutionize the entire healthcare industry, I would say, by providing some immersive experience to the patients. And it's like in training as well as I mean, it can simulate multiple things like surgery and for example, like UK based, there is this organization, guys, in St. Thomas NHS Foundation Trust. They basically train their surgeon using VR, virtual reality technology. So it is always like it helps actually. And if we talk about for patient, VR can help their in their maybe in pain management or maybe for rehabilitation or maybe mental health therapies, some sessions and so on. Like there are vast number of possibilities where VR and AR can put a lot of value to healthcare technology. Moving ahead with artificial intelligence, not just healthcare, but yeah, everywhere we have a huge impact of AI. We can see that like chat GPT is going on in the market. So yeah, automating routine tasks or maybe analyzing large amount of data and giving the right sort of insights to the user can help here. And AI powered chatbot again is a classic example that can provide, the patients with personalized health advice or maybe, reminding them with certain things here and there. And yeah, like moving ahead with the next thing is the wearable technology that we have. So wearable devices that we see over here in the market as of now is the fitness tracker, maybe in the form of smartwatch or something. But yeah, I have seen and read few articles about people are developing some clothing as well, like maybe t-shirts having some smart chips which can basically help user to monitor their health and everything. So that's again is a very like kind of quick opportunity for us as a healthcare providers to look for and provide better experiences out there. And last is the internet of medical things. It's similar to IoT that we have. It refers basically to internet connected network of multiple devices. So we have a lot of, let's say if we talk about OT, orange theaters and everything, it has a lot of devices. If they are, let's say, connectively, I mean, if they can connectively work and they use their sensors and software applications to collect multiple data from here and there. And I mean, basically it can help healthcare providers monitor patients remotely, maybe like have the hospital setup being set up at the home and sending the all the data, and that's I mean all about their medical situations to the doctor and healthcare providers in the real time. So these kind of things, yeah, I mean, can definitely help, and we should look into these kind of setups for IOMT things. So yeah, I mean, that's about it about the technologies, and these, I mean, they're the kind of uh, potential we have here for patient experiences, and to basically increase the accessibility that we talk about, the healthcare services and different sort of things that we talk about here. So yeah, that's it, I guess. Yeah. Um, we have moved to the end of this particular presentation. So any specific questions or anything that you would like to ask, maybe I'll be more than happy to answer any of your queries. Hello. Let me quickly stop share. Oh, I think I forgot the chat. Yeah, I think we already talked about, I think I'm seeing these messages for, I mean, now I guess I missed them while presenting. So yeah, we also have shown a few, metrics which can be, looked after, or maybe which can be tracked if you want to, measure all your, measure the success of your digital product. And then we can talk about industry standards. Yeah, we also have, I think, talked about the standards, like what should be followed, what should not be followed, what should be done and what should not be done. If anything specific I can help, you can always ask me. Anmol, Satija. Anmol, are you there? Guys, am I audible? Kanika?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
I think, okay. So I think we are running out of the time. It's 5:30 already. I mean, in India. So we are closing this webinar. Hope you guys have found some real value out of it, and can implement these practices to your digital platform that you have in your particular businesses. Thank you everyone for joining again. See you. Yeah.